King of Destruction rode to war, and everyone watched. Not directly, but by reactions. In their studio, Noaz and Sorrels scrambled to retell the events, to analyze. Belchan was unresponsive, as was Rhyme. The nearest nations willing to talk and speculate were Medain and Nerhavia, and their rulers did. They were, of course, appalled. Everyone was. Queen Yasame was pale as she declared war again on Belchan. And when you looked at her face, well, you might realize that she had never seen war up front. Not like that, in detail. She was a queen who had seen the truth of battle for the first time. As had many. Wistrom was sending out an apology to those who had witnessed the scene and were venting their fury over seeing dead children and blood. Because that was, of course, unacceptable to broadcast. Clearly, Wistrom would need to put policies in place. Delay the broadcast in case of traumatic scenes? Issue a warning? But meanwhile, Yasame and Nerhavia's horror was genuine. And that earned her appreciation for her sincerity. Medain's High King, Peric, struck a different chord. He, too, condemned the atrocities, but his was a measured tone. He had seen death. And you could respect a man who could speak levelly, censuring both Rhyme and Belchan in equal measures. But it was on Belchan his armies marched, to eat away at the north. And the world watched it all, of course. That was the new way of things. And was anyone sick of it? Surely so, like the Titan of Baleros, who rolled his eyes and told Foliana to stop watching the broadcasts. It's politics, Foliana. Politics. I'm going back to my chess game. Tell me if they show the actual battles. The squirrel beastkin woman didn't respond. She was perched in front of the scrying mirror, nibbling on walnuts and other nuts. There was a little bowl of honey she occasionally dipped them in. This wasn't a contract. It was just a favorite snack. But she was watching with that absorbed look of someone experiencing broadcast television for the first time. Also, she might have been studying potential targets, but you couldn't ever get away from the job. But she was one of many. And the world watched. The world, what a stupid thing. It was always the world this or everyone that. Sometimes the dramas of nations could be stupid. Who cared what the King of Destruction did thousands of miles away? What bearing did it have on here? Nothing. And everything. It would not have mattered as much, that war in Belchan, a single dead Knoll tribe, if Wistrom hadn't broadcast it. If people didn't pay attention, it wouldn't have affected everyone. But they had, and the ripples spread wide. Tails and Scales, one of the best bars in Palace, was not a happy place that night. Patrons filled the seats, talking urgently, angrily, or hysterically over what they'd seen. Rufelt, at the bar, was suppressing nausea and anger and a sense of vindication as he did his job. Lassica had gone to her kitchen to feed her clients. She'd shrugged off Rufelt, suggesting she sit down. She wanted to work.
Hello all! Welcome! This is the live stream of the Wandering In King of Duels release. I am here. My name is Andrea Parsno, as you can see from the label, and my big face being on the screen more than once. And now I would like to introduce you to the wonderful Erin Bennett.
Hi, Andrea Parsno.
Hello.
I've heard you so very much. It's so wonderful to be here. And up we're kind of doing like the Brady Bunch thing. Hi, Matt. Can you see us down here?
Hey everybody. Hey, Matt from Matt's Fantasy Book Reviews. Very happy to be here. I I feel like I'm the one guy that's keeping on doing every review of every book, but trying to pull on other reviewers to it. But very happy to be here and really excited to talk to both of you and Pirate Abba as well.
Yes, that is the other one. We have a nice addition today that, like, I don't know of any other time Pirate's done this. We have Pirate live streaming for us and answering questions in an interview for us. So the wonderful Pirate is joining us as well. That is the wonderful black screen that you see over here. There it is.
Yes. We'll be taking turns reading live. The live lore and description and a book blurb for book 16. I wonder if I'm supposed to start with that. I think maybe I am. Let's see.
I think so. Although Pirate's going to give us secrets in the chat, I think.
I mean, yeah, well, we can.
It's not pressing. No, they don't. They don't need to know. Keep it. As we will all die with the secret. That's amazing. Okay, I think there was talk of an intro from Pirate. If that is not happening, then I think we can go ahead and go with Aaron's. Wait, there we see. I have an intro. There it is. Okay.
Oh, fantastic. For book 16. Yes, I do. Let's see. Yes. How about I'll read it, Pirate. I'd love to. Book 16, King of Duels. This is a recap for readers who may have forgotten where we are in the story. Book 16 begins with the birthday week chapters where I wrote one chapter a day and has hits like Lord Bell, Chocolate Coming to the Inn, and the Strategists at Sea arc. It also has our first Flame of Glory and the very beginning of Goblin Home. And mating rituals too. But the main part of the book is our King of Duels. It may actually only be one chapter of the lot, but it was the chapter I had prepped and prepared for over a year in advance. And I think it was probably the strongest of the chapters, and it had some good ones. Raelt is one of my favorite characters in the stories, but we also do get to meet another favorite at the end, a certain scion of El. Between this and the Garden of Sanctuary, I think these are some of the strongest parts of Volume 7. I'm excited for the audiobook readers to experience it.
I think we're all excited for the audiobook listeners get to experience it. That's amazing. And I'm going to make it a point to read these out loud. There's a lot of people with us right now who are sight impaired because they enjoy the audiobooks, and I don't want to leave them to not be able to understand what Pirate's saying. So Pirate says, thank you for the lovely narration. It's like it's your talent or something. Yep, just read out the comments. That makes sense. Not my misspellings.
Oh, I'm so glad I'm not the only one.
There we go. My typing is dismal. When I have to speed type on Discord to talk to people, it's a disaster. Like I immediately have to retype everything I just typed. So Pirate has all my admiration. Do we want to start with the questions after we have the intro?
I think I think this is, am I jumping in here? Is this my part? I think this is me.
Let's see. 1 second. Text second.
Yeah.
Yes, ready, action. All right, there we go. I'm supposed to introduce, and then Aaron introduce, Matt introduce, type out the hello, reads out Pirate's intro, narrators read out book 16 blurb, Matt goes into what his highlights are. Yes, now we go into like the highlights and such.
Awesome. Okay, so I have been speed reading lately. What I've been doing for the past few years, I read like 3 or so Wandering in books a year, and then I switched to audiobook because I got obsessed with Andy's audiobook narration. And while I'm on that point, Andy, you are on my Mount Rushmore of audiobook narration. I listen to a lot of audiobooks. And Aaron, you've got some big shoes to fill. Not to put any pressure on you, but I'm saying what everybody's thinking. But Andy, thank you so much for the experience that I got to go through with you. It was really magical and just really almost not single-handedly, but almost single-handedly, like kept me in love with everything going on. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. But so I speed read the last few because I was late. So I'm finally catching up. And to be honest, I did not finish the last 2 chapters of the book. But let me tell you about my overall thoughts here. I'm loving the direction things are going. It's hard for me in my head thinking about like individual books because it kind of all blends into one at this point. But my overall thoughts about where things are going in the series now, because that's where my head goes, is we're finally getting to what I wanted in this series. I've really loved the journey and this slice of life journey that I'm not used to. You know, I don't come from this. This is like my first series that I've ever read in this genre. I feel like most of the people here, it's what they do, it's what they read, but that's not me. I'm more in the high fantasy and I got on this tangent with Wandering In, so I'm not used to it. So this slice of life world that I got to fall in love with is very special to me. And being able to cherish that while I'm reading through these really stressful, huge, horrible books where bad things happen to bad people. And then to have this where it's my friends and, you know, it's so happy. But I've wanted the series to kind of start to converge a little bit, start to bring these major events together a little bit. And I know I'm sure there's a vision that Pirate has that's just stretched out. And I've just I keep seeing these tendrils of where this story is going to go in the long term. You know, these sparks of bad guys here and bad guys there. But I finally feel like things are starting to merge. And I hope it's going to keep, you know, spread out, wildly spread out, but that these major players will come together or these huge threats are going to start emerging in the world. And I'm starting to get those hints of where this story's going. And I love it. You know, getting more Ryoka in my stories has been really special. I was probably like a lot of people very sad that there was such a disappearance of this lovely character for so long. So to have this reemergence of this character and is awesome. And I think the last thing I'll say before I jump off into questions is this whole, you know, Sanctuary was really special. The whole vibe of it was, I'm not a hugely visual reader. You know, it's weird, but I love books, but it's hard for me to imagine exactly what's happening. But man, it was so perfectly vivid in my brain. And it'll leave like a really special spot in my heart. So with that said, I have a few questions for all of you, and then we'll kind of jump in from there. But my first question is for Pirate Abba. Can you share a bit more about how you came up with the garden and like the magical properties of the garden? Because I've never read anything quite like it before, and I'm wondering how you kind of came to this, you know, idea.
And I think I'll read this one out. Pirate says, yes, I can. The Garden of Sanctuary. Now I'm nervous that Aaron's reading don't be nervous. Don't be nervous. I'm the one who's nervous. Is one of the few ideas that predates the Wandering In. Oh, interesting. Oh, I'm not supposed to do commentary. Okay. It's actually an old story and concept. No, I love your comments. Okay. Now I feel like I'm
agreed. Agreed. I think that's awesome. Yeah.
I want to say 6 years before the Wandering In even began. Wow. Might be even older than that.
I had no idea.
Wow. It wasn't actually a garden, but more of a forest retreat in a mysterious, peaceful glade. Yeah, that's kind of like it's a state of mind too. And a house in the center. Oh, with air conditioning.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
And all the things that you can ask for. Thank you for including AC. Yeah. Ooh, I want to make sure I'm pronouncing this correctly. Is it isekai?
Isekai.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Actually, I think that some isekai lit RPG stories do the same thing. Those ones where the protagonist has a safe house in an apocalypse. Yeah. So it's not a new idea, but this one was special to me because it wasn't about having a place of advantage, but a place of sanctuary. Hence the name.
I love that so much.
That's awesome.
That's Aaron asked Erin asked. She said, some way to protect my friends.
Okay, so Andy, this book had way more emotional scenes than I'm used to in the series. A couple major events happened that were maybe close to this, but there's so many here. Were there any particular ones that were challenging for you to kind of deliver that emotional, technique any more than usual?
Yeah, the Wandering Inn's always a challenge emotionally. Like it's always going to be, it's always going to throw the highest hurdles that it can throw because Pirate loves to just twist and turn our emotions in the most beautiful and wonderful of ways. And it's in Garden, it was a tiny bit different because it was a very, how do I say this? It was a very visual place. This was somewhere that needed to be visualized, that you needed to be in to see what it was, to understand when you see what and where the sanctuary is. I'm trying to be a little bit careful to keep most of the spoilers out of it. You wanted to make sure I wanted to make sure people could see it when they heard it, but it needed to carry the emotional weight behind it. And the person that was discovering it couldn't discover it and speak about it like other characters could. So I needed to make sure the visual carried with it as well as the reveal of what it was. And it needed, and there's a bunch of stuff kind of surrounding that moment too, where there's a whole bunch of things going on at the inn and everything else that all kind of built toward this kind of semi-chaotic moment. And then this quiet peace. And then joy and jubilation. And then solemnity. And there was this kind of push and pull through that entire sequence that needed to be maintained. And the visual aspect of the garden and stuff needed to kind of be there to understand it. And that's usually when I start, like, that's a little bit more difficult when I'm trying to convey like a real moving space or moving things in a space. Because I want to make sure people understand what's going on. So, but yeah, it's always challenging in DWI for the emotions. But that specifically was really hard, especially with who had discovered it.
Awesome. So Erin, I'm guessing the Antinium was the toughest challenge for you when you're trying to come up with how to do these voices when you're looking at it. What would you say is the runner-up, or am I totally wrong here?
No. You're dead on. Andrea's creation with the Antinium is pure genius. It's pure genius, and I would say one of my. I think sometimes it's hard. It's harder for me to do my favorite characters at first. Well, I love all the characters, but I really loved Relk from the beginning. I just kind of fell in love with him. And I think sometimes I get a little bit intimidated and I want to make sure that I'm doing somebody correctly. So I did a ton of back and forth, kind of piecing together, doing it, listening back, checking some samples, going through some scenes, and going back and forth. But yeah, truly getting the I am bird and the pops. That was I practiced. And one of the ways I practiced that was I have a 6-year-old, and I thought I'm gonna have this character when Bird can have a conversation back and forth with my 6-year-old. And that she continues to talk to him. And eventually, not too long ago, we got to have a pretty good back and forth conversation. And I realized I'd immersed it. So I need to have Relk talk to her a little bit.
It's the truth. Also, Pirate says, I apologize for Kilpch and Nartharios. I can't. I have to take it 7 times, even when I say it. Naltharios
Strellis.
That one.
I have to say it like 10 times.
Yep, she said it.
Erin, I am known for being brutally honest in my reviews and not holding back even directly to authors. And I got to tell you, that Bird voice was amazing.
That was great. That was beautiful. Bird is best boy. You pulled off Bird. Well done.
Andrea, I'm hoping that someday we can do Bird Sings the Hits, because I think there needs to be some karaoke, some Wandering Inn karaoke. I'm just saying.
Yes.
Awesome.
Someone asked me one time, how do you make up the songs for Bird? And I'm like, Bird makes up the notes Bird wants to sing. There's no structure or form to that melody. It's just, I am Bird. Bird is happy. Like, there's no structure to that. There is no AABA there. That's just Bird.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so Pirate Abba, with so many POV characters and storylines in this story, I got to imagine it's got to be really tough deciding which ones get the spotlight in each part. How do you handle writing to expand certain characters and arcs, but knowing you can't fit them all into the story's already massive scope? And while you're writing that, I'll just kind of go off for a second. I'm very OCD. I have to like complete tasks, and I cannot imagine the stress that you have got to go through with this balancing act, because the story's getting bigger and bigger. It's getting wider and wider, and then you spend like hundreds of pages on like a king arc for a little bit, letting these others kind of fester, and it works, but God, I don't know how you do it.
I don't know how it stays floating there. Yeah, like how it stays consistent. Like there are hints and drops and little things that are dropped literally 5 books before that plot point actually comes to fruition. It's amazing. Okay, I'll start as pirate. Ooh, this is going to take a second. Yes, I was going to ask who your favorite one was while I was typing. Let's see. I'd say the main answer is probably instinct. It's like a balancing of scales. You can feel that a character has been ignored, and sometimes that's bad. For instance, a certain mummy fellow needs attention now, and I can feel it. However, you also have to triage. You focus on the main arcs. And then you put the side arcs around them. I love that. That's a cool idea.
Oh, it's kind of like it's so cinematic to me. Like Pirate is just the master of this, like the close up and then just the wide shot. You know, you just
you can feel the zoom in. You can feel the drone shot come across, and you get the overshot, and then you can feel the zoom down to Liskor or the zoom down to Chandrar, whatever it is.
And even like a character's heartbeat, like it gets so intimate. And then you're just pulling back and you're seeing the armies or seeing the, whatever's happening. It's
amazing.
Yeah.
Pirate says it's also, frankly, about motivation. If I have a vision for a certain character, I go for it. There are some POVs like the R underscore group that I don't want to write. Andrea, what's your favorite POV as well? So I know I can change the order up. What is my favorite? Probably Aaron. I'm old school. I like Aaron's. I like the inn. I know this is probably like the simplest basic answer, but I love Aaron's story. It's so hard. Like it's so close to my heart. RT likes Rabbit Eater and wants more. I do miss Rabbit Eater. I do. And I want to know what's going on with Rags and the other goblins. Admittedly, yeah. Anything to do with the goblins that aren't in another place. Anything to do with the Red Fangs and in whichever location they are. I'm down with that.
Oh, whenever I see a chapter has a little G next to it, I get really excited.
Yeah, I love me some goblins. The goblins are the best. Also responsible for me never wanting to kill goblins in video games now. It's a problem. Because in video games, they're not nice.
All right, so my last direct question before we go to other people's questions, and it's a quick one. It's for both the audiobook narrators, but I know every audiobook narrator's got it, but what is your go-to snack or drink on the long recording sessions?
I do tea. I'm easy. I don't eat in the booth because mouth noise, but I drink honey vanilla chamomile from Celestial Seasonings, and I drink it with honey from North Carolina that's called purple honey. It's like a super, super dark honey. I'm weirdly superstitious about this. I always have the same tea and the same honey.
Celestial Seasonings, old school, classic.
It's so
I love
old
it.
School. Yeah, it's the simplest tea, but it's so good.
It's delicious. I love me some a berry zinger, lemon zinger. I like in the I do coffee in the mornings, and then in the afternoons I try not to have a second cup, so sometimes I'll switch to like a Dragon Pearl Jasmine from Harney's in the little tea tin. I go, oh, look at my classy afternoon drink, and my body's going, please do coffee, and I'm like, no, tea. You're gonna have it and like it.
I do love myself a jasmine dragon pearl is really good. Anytime it's pearl, oh, I love it so much. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and Pirate says, ooh, sounds good. I drink coffee on Tuesdays. That's my only caffeine day. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, coffee has gone the way of the dodo for me too. It makes me lose my voice, so I can't do coffee anymore. Makes me sad.
So I'm all out of my questions. I think we're jumping to the main Q&A now.
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yay! Okay, I think I read first.
Yes.
So
Okay.
we have from Alan. Did Aaron read all of The Wandering Inn up to King of Duels prior to recording?
Let me just say I have listened to probably more of Andrea Parsnow's oeuvre than any other narrator ever in my life. Her voice lives rent-free in my head. In fact, I calculated if one were to listen to all of Andrea's work with The Wandering Inn so far, I believe it is approximately 75 days, 8 hours a day. And while I was not able to completely do that. And by the way, I live on the wiki. I live on the wiki.
So
I've got art all over the place. I mean, it's my Bible, it's my dictionary. So it's been a mixture of that, of audio, the physical texts, and the wiki. Absolutely.
What Pirate said, watch out for spoilers on the wiki. You'll get gnarly stuff spoiled for you occasionally, but it is worth it. If you work on the wiki and you are in the chat right now, I love you. You're my favorite.
Yeah.
Because that wiki saves our butts so many times. Thank you. You're amazing. Thank you.
Saves our butt. And the first
nice.
so King of Duels, I took about 250 new voice samples for character voices. So I work with a combination of Andrea's voice samples, which are incredible, which are my Bible dictionary, Encyclopedia Britannica, Encyclopedia Andreica.
That would be a cursed volume.
Never. You are the magical key to all of our audio dreams, and it's there, and I have it forever. So yes,
That's amazing.
Madame.
I think you're the next question.
Another question. This is for everyone. What makes a good king? This is from King. Let's see. What makes a good king in The Wandering Inn?
Okay, Pirate says us go first. I'll go first because my answer's easy. Oh, Pirate says you go first, Matt. Matt, go.
I think probably the best trait is probably protecting their people. I feel like that's the main motivating factor of the good kings in this world.
Honestly, that was mine. So I agree with Matt. So good that Matt went first. Mine was care and compassion for their people above all else, because we see the ones that try to spread too thin and make everybody happy. It never works out. It ends up backfiring horribly. But the person that everyone told me I was going to hate, Senior Floss, I still love. I'm ride or die for Floss, because that guy's just trying to do the best thing he can for his people. And I'm sorry. I'm not sorry.
Team Floss.
Long live the Floss.
And I obviously am very much a student of all this, but I think it's knowing that you're beaten before you begin, and beginning anyway. I would say that's something that's sort of have no choice, have no chance. Going to do it anyway, because it's what a king does.
I like that. What do you think, Pirate? What do you think makes a good king? Pirate is the ultimate word on this. Ooh, there it is.
First and the last. Ooh, in our world or this one? Oh my gosh.
Ooh, okay. This one's purple, so it's me. So
That's you.
Because in our world or this one. Because in that world, it's levels. But the king who has levels influences their kingdoms to be like them. So I guess the answer is levels. If you have a king you vibe with. If not, then you might get worried. Kings or queens pull you with them. So it's either Floss or the Sleepy Queen. Do you want to follow the King of Destruction or have a literally slumbering monarch while you do what you please? Yeah. And it seems, I think Floss is compelled in a certain way. Like Floss is the king of destruction. We start seeing that, like, we had seen this whole new side to Floss, and we start seeing it in 15 and 16, 15 and 16, where it's you're seeing the other side. Yeah, his class revolves around war. He is a king built for war. Yeah, you need a war to have a good kingdom. And I think that is the I think Floss's one downside, but it's also his biggest strength. So I think that's a matter of perspective. And I think this one. Ooh, I get to read this one, I think. And then it's, because it's, oh yeah, that's me. Okay. I've been waiting to hear, oh no, I don't actually know how this, Onieva?
Onva.
Onva, there we go.
My notes say Onva, but
there you go. That wasn't one for me, so that was another one. I've been waiting to hear how Onva is pronounced for a long time, roughly 3 years, as her name is on my short list of possible names. My question is if that's a good idea or not, due to the hazard of naming yourself after a character who is still being written. Please be as vague as desired. Also, please take this as a compliment to Pirate Abba's character writing. Thank you. That's awesome.
Oh. Let's see, I'll read Pirate's response. Pirate says, that's correct. Onva is a good choice for a character to like. Yeah, it's beautiful. And no spoilers. So awesome. if you came here looking for spoilers, keep walking.
Get out of here.
Let's see. And yes, a compliment to Pirate's character writing. Yes, let's all take a moment to appreciate the character writing of Pirate Abba, because it's what we keep coming back for more.
Few people make me love or hate a character as much as Pirate does. I will hate characters with a visceral passion or love them with an undying loyalty for Pirate's characters. That's amazing.
And Pirate says, thank you. Don't compliment me on the names. I only had to pronounce Ilbch about 57 times before I finally was able to say it.
Yep. That sounds about right. Still do. When it still tripped me at book 15. I was still tripping on Kilb's name to this day. Okay.
Okay. On our toes,
Exactly. I think you get to ask a question of Matt now, Erin.
Yes, I'm very excited to. As soon as I see it on the screen, this is from Mystic Druidess for Matt. Matt, how did the series defy your expectations, and what made you fall in love with it?
Okay, so my expectations were very wrong. I had no idea about the book. It was just I saw it on Goodreads. A friend of mine who I trust, I saw that they liked it, and I knew nothing about it other than the cover. And I ended up asking her about it, and she said her description was horrible, but it intrigued me. There's this innkeeper in this fantasy world, and they don't actually get involved in anything, but it's people coming in to do quests, and they leave, and she gets to kind of be a part of their world from the bar side. And I was like, that sounds intriguing. And I read it, and that's not at all what it's about. It totally branches off and does its own thing, and it's this magical story in this huge, colorful world. And so, it totally defied my expectations because they were totally inaccurate. But what made me fall in love with it, I needed this story at the time of my life. I feel like I read these really dark stories. I mean, as my channel, I read these grim, dark stories, and in general, like really bad things happen all the time. And then to all of a sudden read this book where I'm sitting outside and the birds are chirping and I've got my coffee and it's just nice. And it makes my heart sing, and I don't need it all the time, but it's so nice for me to be able to break up these more serious, dark reads with this thing that's like another part of my family kind of thing, And so that's really what made me fall in love with it.
I love that. That's fabulous.
So I think I am asking the next one to all of you. And this is from Polyrex, and this is for everyone besides me. Which character is your favorite to write or narrate? And Erin, you're right below me, so I'm going to start with you.
Oh,
I think we made the
geez.
exact same face too.
Oh,
like,
man.
oh man,
I was
I don't
like,
know.
it's like you guys know those old fashioned like Rolodex things. It's like brrr,
Yeah.
just like
Seriously.
take your pick. I mean,
Also, and note that whoever you pick, almost everybody's going to be let down in what you say because it won't be
Yeah,
there for
no
you.
matter what.
exactly. Like I feel like I can't. I understand the impulse to ask this question. I totally do, and I completely can fail at it. I'm really digging the Antinium. It really is dependent on kind of just how I feel about what's happening in the story, and I'm intrigued the more I go. Favorite? That's tough. I love the relationship between Relk and Kilbich. I love Mersha. I love yeah. Ask me later. I'm punting. This is me punting.
No, somebody said it best in the chat. To pick a favorite in the Wandering Inn is a trap because it'll change. And that's the truth. Like there's characters that you will absolutely adore. For performance-wise, I have different people that I like for different reasons. I love Pisces' pompousness. I love the over the top, better than you, better than everybody who's existed, but still weirdly grounded in this deeply insecure way. I love Pisces for that. I just love Celis's voice. I really like that voice. And so I enjoy voicing Celis just because the voice is a lot of fun. I like voicing Aaron because Aaron is what I would do in many situations, be it dumb, be it short-sighted, be it brilliant, whatever the case is, that little like that rallying people together or talking to people, whatever that is. I love Aaron. I love voicing Aaron because I love the underestimation. I think I have a thing for underdogs. And I like that, like, they're underestimated. You don't think they're going to be able to pull it off. And secretly, they're the most intelligent person there. I like that aspect of it a lot. So I have different people that I like for different reasons. But universally, my favorite moments to narrate in TWI are the letting go moments. The moments where I've had enough. I've had all I can stands and I can't stands no more. Zavara with Embria or Pisces at the Bloodfields. Those moments for me are my favorites. I love those because I get to be just this raw, visceral character. That's a lot of fun. It's a little less controlled, it's a little less monitored, and it feels really good.
Awesome. And then Pirate, what say you? I have characters I like per chapter. For instance, I just did a Zavara arc that I loved, but she's not my favorite. Many characters have a chapter that defines them. Relt in book 16, for example, has one chapter, but it's the one you need. In general, it's probably Erin when she's on an adventure. When she's on an adventure and figuring things out, or Ryoka at her best. Bird is amazing in scene when they're being their most bird. Relk and Gil bantering, Mersha of the many names, Horns in their best and silliest moments. Calidus, it changes, but there's my answer. Matt, your favorite chapters were goblins. Any character specifically? I feel like it's so many of them. Every character within the whole Goblin Society, everything about the Goblin arc is intriguing to me. Literally every aspect of the society I'm in love with. But I guess Rags is the easy answer. Also, I don't know if you guys know how stressful it is reading something in front of two audiobook narrators, but that's horrible.
For the record, it's just as stressful being an audiobook narrator when we get retakes while we're working. You can't retake on a live stream, really. So it's like, yeah, dance, word monkey, dance. It's like pirate typing. It's just oh no, there's people watching me do the thing. Oh no. So
I'm not used to looking at other people and or myself. It's not my natural state. Like, what do I wear? What do I look at? It doesn't matter because I'm always pulling such faces when I'm recording. Yeah.
It's the people ask why I don't do like a video live stream while I'm working because of the faces. Like I don't need that existing on the internet forever. Thank you very much.
Oh.
So yeah, no. Okay, and I think the next one is me to read. Yay! Okay. This is a good question. This is an excellent question, and I think we all need to know this. what is the best way to pitch TWI to your friends? Because it's not quite cozy, it's not quite slice of life, it's not quite epic fantasy. It's all of the things all at once. So how would you pitch it to your friends? Why don't we go down, up, top, down? So Matt, you first, then Aaron, then me.
I keep it very simple, and I just keep it very vague. And I say, you ever read a really good book and then you don't want it to end? Well, this one doesn't.
Holy crap, that's the best answer. I don't. Good.
I'd say,
That's
you
my
know how
answer.
you know how you say we don't talk that much. Do you want me to talk at you for quite a while, and then some? Listen. No. I say that feeling that you get when you don't want something to end, and when you feel like that you're pulling up a seat at the table at the Wandering Inn. You're about to order. You're going to order a calzone. You're going to stroll through with the characters when you want to be with these people, even though they've been doing a chapter for 2.5 hours together, and you're sad that it's over. That doesn't happen every day. That doesn't happen above a few times, I think, in one's reading or listening lifetime. So I was surprised and amazed when my heart when it just got hooks into my heart, and I became a fan. So, yeah.
It really does do that too.
It
For
does.
sure. For sure. That's all of that above. I've tried to pitch it, and I think that's, if you ever had a book that you really love and you don't want it to end, well, I've got one, because it never ends, but it's also the greatest story. So it's it's fabulous. I'm not going to mess up what you guys said, because you said it very well.
And it doesn't have to end, and it better not.
It better not. It's the greatest ever.
We're gonna. Oh, let's see. Who's reading this one?
This is I think this one's you.
Oh, let's see. Pirate says the main thing about the Wandering Inn is the sign. No killing goblins. It's the innkeeper instead of the adventurer. If they like volume 1,
Aaron, I think you skipped.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. There it is. Oh, my take was opposite, but I wrote it. I've heard some readers get turned away by the length. My advice is actually contrary if you think they might bounce because of that. Don't mention the length. I'd say do some probing. Do they know what a lit RPG is, or an isekai? Narnia is an isekai. Do they know what a web serial is? Begin with that, and it's more interesting. The main thing about the Wandering Inn is the sign. No killing goblins. It's the innkeeper instead of the adventurer. If they like volume 1, then you can tell them how long it is. If you like it, then you're happy it's long. But it can be scary if you aren't sure you want to commit and you find a mountain. I felt like that with The Wheel of Time when I first found it. Once I knew I liked it, I was upset it wasn't longer. Some regard it as a challenge, so figure out who you're pitching to. Maybe give them Andrea's audiobook. That's a good way to intro it. I would say yes. Start at the beginning.
That's also extremely well said.
Every story begins at the beginning.
The thing I've done with people that get turned off by the length is I say it's not a normal book that has like a beginning, middle, and end to the whole story. Like every chapter has a beginning, middle, and end. And so you can really read chapters on their own and feel complete without having the stress of having an infinite amount of things to do. Just read a chapter here and there and enjoy it. And if you want to read more, keep reading. But it doesn't leave you with that feeling of that cliffhanger thing that a lot of other stories do, which is nice.
Oh, yeah, that's a nice philosophy, says Pirate. Sorry.
No, you're fine. You were supposed to read it. I'm the one stepping on your toes, love. Sorry about that. Reflex. No, that's really well said, though. Like that is probably the one thing that I've bumped up against with people is the length of it. And that's the best way probably to get around it, is just to avoid it until you know where they sit. And I like that. I like that a lot. And you are the next question.
We're probably bouncing at the next question. This is for Andrea from Ram. I love Andrea's narrations, like I am sure everyone else does, and totally understand why she has passed the torch onto Aaron. However, I have to know, will Andrea still be keeping up with the story / the latest chapters?
Okay, I'd have to get current. But yes, I still plan on reading the story. I've been asked that quite a bit as people want to know, like, am I still going to keep reading? Am I going to keep listening? Yes, I still love the story. I chased after Pirate in the beginning. So this is a story that was close to my heart and it still is. I love the world of TWI. So I'm not going anywhere. Yeah, exactly. Pirate just said, we've hooked her. It's exactly that. I will
Mission
absolutely keep listening.
accomplished.
Yep. I gotta know what happens. I gotta know what's going on with the old gods. I gotta know there are things I need to know, okay? That's amazing.
We will confab about how things change.
Yes. Also,
Let's
I got
see.
a note in the private chat. Yeah, they're pinging it. So we are supposed to transition. I received a gift from the TWI team. Pirate says the moment has come. Are you guys supposed is there a plan for who's reading Pirate for right now?
Aaron is
Let's
reading it.
see. Okay. Is this the Okay, hang on. Gift. Is this the blurb? Oh gosh, I'm so sorry. You're going to be opening the gift and Pirate will post the message and I will read it. Okay. There's a gift for you. All right, here's the message. Excuse me. Taking a breath here. Okay, this is Pirate speaking. Hey, Andrea. I know I've said it before, but I will say it again as you open your gift. You're great. You've worked so hard on The Wandering Inn and brought the story to so many people who'd never have heard of it otherwise. And I will always be grateful for your hard work. In future projects, which I hope will include other stories I write, I hope you'll have all the fans you deserve. Thank you once more for going on this long and crazy journey with The Wandering Inn. Pirate Abba.
I would do it all over again 1,000 times. I was almost undone by a piece of plastic. I'm sorry. I had to do advanced calculus for a second because I had to figure out how to get this open. I knew I should have grabbed scissors before I came down here. Okay. I've got it. Now I'm opening bubble wrap as I smack myself in the face with it. It has been one of the greatest joys I think I will ever have to work on this series. It has been so much fun and so heartbreaking and so wonderful and so sad and so happy at all the things. And it has made me so much a better narrator from my participating in it. Okay, it's a frame. It's the back of a frame. It's a surprise to all of us. Hold on. I've released it from its prison.
I can't. I'm on the edge of my seat.
Can you guys see it?
Oh my gosh.
It's Marsha. And quite possibly the most flattering drawing of me that I've ever seen in my life. Oh my god. And Pisces. Oh my gosh, thank you so much, guys. Artsy.
That is by Artsy Nada.
It's by Artsy Nada.
That is fantastic.
Thank you.
That is
so
beautiful. Much. Oh my god, everybody's there.
Everyone's here. This is the best. Thank you guys so much. Holy crap, I didn't know what it was because I wasn't allowed to open the box. And it was my husband's birthday, so there were boxes coming in, and I cut open the top of it. I was like, I don't remember a frame that I ordered for him. And I cut open the top of it, and I saw everything, and there was a note on the top, and I read it. It said, "Do not open this." And I was like, oh, crap, that's the box. Never mind. And I shut it immediately. So that was my entire interaction with it before this point.
I have a feeling that's going in the studio, huh?
No, it'd be too dark in here. I want to put it in my living room.
Put it in your living room.
I want to put it in my living room. Oh. It was the best. Also, Artsy, thank you for holy crap. Like, this is Artsy Pirate, everybody. I'm buddy with Floss. Artsy knew. Floss is my man. He's just misunderstood. And he has questionable morals due to his location, time, and place. But that's fine. And they have French fries.
From Pirate, Artsy did an amazing job. Look at Floss photobombing this thing as always.
He's such an adorable little douchebag. I love him so much. I love it. Is this Rel's and no, is this Olessim in the background? And Relk and Celis? I love this so much. Oh yes, Ivara with the smoke. Yes. Oh, that's the best. She wants to arrest Floss. I love it so much. Also, Mersha is 100% stealing a French fry.
100%.
Thank you guys so much. I can't believe that. That is so sweet. Thank you. Am I supposed to read the next question? I am.
You are. You're welcome for that.
Thank you. Okay. No wonder I wouldn't have been able to hold it together. If I would have known someone had this, that would have been my undoing.
Well,
Okay.
Andrea, Pirate says, I knew you had it and really wanted you to see it for ages. They've been sitting on it for so long.
Holy crap, you guys are the best. I'm smiling like an idiot. I can't stop smiling. Okay. I have very serious questions to ask. Okay.
Now we're forcing you. We're forcing you to read, to continue to narrate now through all that emotion. Good luck.
I know, right?
Pirate says it's the least Andrea deserves. Okay, question.
You guys. Okay, what's my question? Wait, Ram. I'm used to this. Having to talk through tears and stuff is old school. That's just standard fare for TWI. Okay. Why May or Why Me says, non-spoiler question for Matt. You mentioned in your recent review that you weren't the biggest fan of the River Farm Witches. Could you go into a bit more detail? It would be much appreciated.
Yeah. Well, now I feel bad saying not nice things in front of an author of a book and in front of fans of said books. But I don't know. Not every arc is going to connect with me. And with the witches, it was a different vibe than is what I'm into. It took out the high fantasy stuff that most of this story has been about thus far, and it inserted, although cool, but this folk magic, moral ambiguity storyline, and it felt kind of out of place for me and different. And I've never connected with those kind of stories. And then everything kind of felt small scale. It felt like things were building up and up and up, and all of a sudden it went down. And it said, let's now tell this little story that doesn't impact much of the world. And I just didn't like the style of it. So, it's just my taste. And apparently, Pirate, let me have it. I can take it. Perfect.
Pirate is really good natured about that. Like, Pirate's like walked into the middle of the stream where I'm railing at one of the characters for being a douchebag about something. Pirate's like,
says,
fair.
Interesting. Do you read Terry Pratchett, Matt? The Granny Weatherwax, Tiffany Aikens are probably close to this. Yes. And those were my least favorite of the Discworld series. So that would make a lot of sense. And I love the other series. Those were like the only two that I didn't connect with. And yeah, it's all preference. I mean, honestly, I bet you that the witches, there's people that are going to say that's some of their favorites for the exact reasons I said I did not like them. But.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I actually really liked the witches for exactly the opposite reasons that you said. I really liked the kind of the grounding. I loved Witch Eloise. Like I sobbed during the witch arc for multiple reasons. Like multiple things happened and it was so well done. Just holy crap. Yeah, some people love Floss, others hate him. I will ride or die for Floss. This is becoming a hill I die on as this conversation goes on. Okay, who's the next question? It's you, Aaron.
I think I'm going to read it. Yeah, I'll read the next question. This is from Curious Person. I always think, and the question is for Pirate Abba. I always think of Aaron as the protagonist / main character, even with it being multi-narrative. Is this the intention?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Better type fast. Yes, you better. Oh,
That's
we all just get put on the spot here. It's true. Andrea, do you want to read the pirates?
I will. You are so much better at pacing for this. It's unbelievable how good you are at the pacing of this. I'm like, I speed ahead and then have to stop because I read too fast. Okay. So, the story starts with Aaron. It also has Ryoka appear, and she is one of the characters who I thought of as defining the story, but Aaron was first. She has the most chapters, and yes, the story moves away from her, but I'd say that she's unquestionably the MC, the first Earther. But a story cannot revolve around Aaron all the time. It's like...
What do you mean a story can't revolve around Aaron all the time?
Exactly.
Sorry, that was obligatory. I had to for a second.
It's like, is Frodo the MC of Lord of the Rings? Do we really want to see him and Sam humping Golem up Mount Doom, or up Gollum up Mount Doom for 50 chapters? Yeah, there's so much more story to tell. Yeah. No.
Great point. I'm a big LOTR fan.
Rohirrim?
The Rohirrim.
Rohirrim.
The Rohirrim.
We love the Rohirrim. I am not. Andy's lack of nerddom is showing. I am not a Lord of the Rings person. So we love.
I think that's what you know. What I think that's what pirate means. I'm not sure, but I think we're talking about the Rohirrim and Rohan.
Okay, so Erin's like a main character in a big story. She defines a great part of it. The world moves around her, but to be a good story, it can't be about her. Like how Wheel of Time has Rand al'Thor, only for like 22%? 20%? That was great. I'm not judging. I should have waited. Don't judge me. Pirate says, don't judge me. Numbers are hard. Only for like 20% of the story. Don't judge me. Numbers are hard.
No one is judging.
I was fully committing. I was going to lemming right off that cliff with you, Pirate. I was going to just keep reading numbers, and I was going to go right there with you. So, yes, that's amazing.
I love the all caps.
That makes sense, though. Like the idea that it is such a big story. It can't just be about Erin, but she is the main character of the story. She's who we meet first. Yeah. And I think in a lot of ways, she's the grounding force of the story, too. She's kind of the thing, the maypole that everything kind of turns around. The world changes and turns around her. Let's see. I think I get to read the next one. I do. A question from Sharon Dudley. I have been abysmally bad at reading the names. I'm sorry, guys. I have not read the names of the question askers on a consistent basis. I apologize if I have read your question. It is not disrespectful. I'm just a dingus. Okay. Sharon Dudley. As a blind kindergarten teacher, I want to ask Pirate Abba if they personally know a blind person, because they really portray in their writing some of the challenges that blind folks experience. Yes, I've heard that on my server as well. Very much so. So I would love to know that. And you get to read Pirate Aaron.
Great. I have a great, this is Pirate speaking. I have a great answer for this. No. However, I did once go through a simulation where someone who is blind takes you through this dark warehouse for like 1 to 3 hours. You're effectively blind and they can navigate the space, but you're so helpless. It was an amazing experience to raise awareness, and that was part of it. Pitch blackness, rooms filled with ordinary objects, but it's terrifying, and you can barely move without help. Oh, wow. God, that's neat. But our guide was so sure of herself, and it really did stick with me. Yeah, I bet that was powerful. Pirate says, I think you could probably find that simulation / experience and maybe try it. Yeah. I don't know where it would be put on.
It is a really interesting idea to have people just have a full, like the idea of pitch blackness, even to people who live in cities now. The idea of pitch blackness is almost a foreign concept to us. Like the action, like pitch dark, no light whatsoever. It's almost impossible to us. Like it's because light pollution is so prevalent in our world that just not being able to see a thing if you're a sighted person is a really odd concept in and of itself.
Pirate continues, it's important to have these experiences. So you know what, Andrea, you're also really good at putting things, when we have a moment, your thoughts reveal your inner soul. And I love them. I love getting little slices of you here and there, because I've heard you saying Pirate's words and Aaron Solstice's words and every character in the Wandering Inn's words. And it's so nice to just hear you as the wonderful person you are. Getting back to Pirate says, it's important to have these experiences so people understand what it's like. There's a simulation they put on at Davos. I hope I'm saying that right.
So.
The World Economic Forum, where they show people what it's like to be a refugee. Feels like the very rich people there can use that lesson. Yeah, it does. I know there's a video of that refugee run or something. You can see someone taking Richard Branson's watch. Oh my gosh. Wow. All right. Gonna be looking that up later. Can be bookmarking that.
That is fascinating.
Wow.
And we got a note from production that we're at our time, but then we can go a couple more questions.
Okay,
Sweet.
Cool. We will. I'm going to read the next one. So depending on who taught you how to say this word, it's either guillotine or guillotine. Question for everyone. This is for basically everyone, but which antinonym is your favorite and why? Happy face emoji.
I'm surprised it didn't say, and why is it bird? It's always, and why is it bird? Mine's actually pawn. Controversial curveball, I know, but I like pawn. Pawn's arc is really fun. Pawn goes from being just an antinonym like any other to like this kind of very robotic one of the hive mind to slowly but surely gaining faith and independence and individuality and free thought and emotion. And you get to follow this little baby through all of this. And it's so touching and so heart-wrenching at times. And he's trying his best to do it right, but it's not always right. And he messes up. And I really like Pawn a lot.
Super quickly, I'm just going to, because no spoilers, but in King of Duels, there are a small group of antinonym who are on a mission. And this mission is maybe the most incredible mission ever. And you just have the round robin of these antinonym trying to figure it out is you're going to bust a gut. It's amazing. That's all I'm going to say. All I'm going to say.
There's some pretty funny ones in 15 as well that show up. It's just there's shenanigans that the antinonym get up to that are very funny.
Shenanigans.
And I think my favorite antinonym is probably not something commonly said, but it's actually the Free Queen.
Thank you. Okay.
I love this character. This like cold character that you realize is actually very caring and is trying to be this like surrogate mother to these new type of antinonym and trying to figure it out. It's the only antinonym that has a lot of mystery to me as a reader at this point in the story. And it's the only one where I'm like, I really want to know more. I want to spend chapters from your perspective so I can really know what's going on. And so I don't know. Every time that character pops out, I focus very strongly.
I like the Free Queen too. That's a good answer. Pirate, do you have one that's a favorite? I want to see if we get a blob of pirate. Blob of pirate. I think, do I get to answer this one? I get to answer this one, don't I? Yes, I do. Okay. Pirate says, bird is a great answer, but I'm going to say that if I were to ask for one in our world, it's Gary. I'd take them all, but Gary is the one we need, not deserve. Gary is really good one. Gary does what's best for everybody despite what he wants to do and what he loves. Gary just keeps trying to help the queen and everything. Gary's a good guy. Good them. The antinonym really don't have gender technically. Let's see.
Aw. I think we're ready for probably the next question,
I
which
agree.
I think Andrea is going to read.
I am too. This one is from Cognita.
Ooh.
What advice, and this is for you and I, Aaron,
Okay.
what advice do you have for someone wanting to work in voice acting or narrating? Any tips, tricks, or resources? I've answered this question a whole lot in panels and stuff, so I'll go really quick. Mine is take acting lessons. First step, acting lessons.
Thank you. It's an acting job. This is an acting job, not a I do funny voices. I have a great voice. People say I should have a voice job. That stuff that's fun, that the ego, that strokes the ego, shove it aside. This is a humbling job. And anyone who wants to practice, anyone who wants to think, I'm an actor, I'm interested in this. One of the best things you can do is to sit with yourself, put on a lamp, put a book in front of you, start at chapter 1 and read from the beginning of that chapter to the end of that chapter. If you make a mistake, pause, go back, pick up where you left off, and go all the way to the end of chapter 1. That's a great way to see if you're a fit for narrating audiobooks.
Yep.
And you can do it anytime.
I realized recently I am not a fit for. I realized I'm not a fit for this at all. My kids are at the age where I'm reading stories to them. I read a Sanderson book to them recently, a little short kids one, and I tried to do all the voices. I thought I was going to be super cool and really make it fun. And I can do about 5 pages before I'm physically exhausted.
It is so tiring. People think it's not. It's like, well, you're just reading out loud. You don't know what it's like, okay? It's engaging everything. Like you are tightening every muscle and loosening every muscle. And it's like, it's everything all at once for each one of those voices. So yeah, no, it's a lot more physical than people think it is.
And also, Matt, kids are your harshest critic.
Oh, they really are.
Your kids are like, they're going to be like, oh, Dad, why'd you do it that way?
Yeah.
Like,
even my nieces are unforgiving. They'll look at me and they're just like, try again, Aya. I don't like that voice.
The harshest I get is when you start to say something and then you realize that halfway through the sentence somebody else is saying it, and they're very harsh when it comes to that.
Was wrong. There you go, Aaron, if you want to read.
Pirate. Thank you so much. Pirate says, I started reading because my father read Lord of the Rings for me and started falling asleep. I started falling asleep mid-read. So I learned to read because I wanted to know what happened next.
That's amazing.
We're
Benedict Cumberbatch very famously, that was where he got the voice for Smaug, was his dad reading to him at bed and for bedtime stories. That was where he got the Smaug voice.
Wow.
He said, I believe he said, this is not an original performance. I am reliving the greatest voice actor that I ever knew. I'm just duplicating his performance.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. Yeah.
Very cool.
Do you have one? Do you guys have one that you think we want to hit before we get to the end, before we do the end?
There's one that I just have to give as a total shout out to Andrea. I think you'll like this one. It's the one from Titus. I think everyone needs to hear this question.
Okay. This is actually for Pirate and I, because I have to get Pirate's clearance. I don't have a problem with doing this, but I'd have to get Pirate's okay to do it. That's the only reason I haven't said yes.
This may be the greatest idea ever suggested by anyone ever. Strange request. This is from Titus. But would it be possible to have Andrea narrate a 30-minute workout motivation as Grimalkin? She does him so perfectly, and having Grimalkin encouraging a workout session and yelling, testicles, would make my whole year. There you have it.
Dude says testicles with his whole body. Like it is from his toes to the ends of his little hair spines. That dude says testicles with his whole chest. Holy crap. Keep lifting.
Oh, wait. I've never seen Andrea and Matt. I've never seen Pirate type so fast as they're typing right now. This is inspiration right now for a writer. I think we're witnessing it in real time. And Andrea, if you don't narrate this, I might might actually spontaneously combust.
Okay, so for the people who can't see Pope Pirate's writing, it says, "Keep lifting, one more rep, testicles, sogonads, whichever one you have, use them. Wait, we're on attack. Keep working, don't stop. I'll be back. All right, we are moving the gymnasiums, but I want you doing high knees as we evacuate. Come on."
Suddenly I've lost 30 pounds because Andrea as
Right? Just
as
so
Grumble
motivated.
Ken.
I just shouted the pounds off. That's it. I need my own advice as Grimalkin.
Oh.
We'll do a special audiobook, Grimalkin's workout. Okay.
Yeah.
There's
That's
probably
funny.
more than one person watching this that's going to set this to their morning alarm clock.
My God.
Yeah. I have gotten requests several times from people. I'm always really nice about it. When people want stuff, I always, it's a like, can you yell that like alarm, alarm? One of the Antinium yelling, because it was alarm, alarm. Like you had to have the trill, and someone was like, "Can I please have that as my morning alarm?" And I was like, "Yes, you can." Export. It's the best. There are so many weird alarms set out there of TWI stuff. Just weird things. That's amazing.
I was working on Salus's voice, and I kept thinking of that old song that I am an anarchist, and I was picturing Salus going, I am an alchemist. Just like these things just pop into your head with characters because they're so iconic. Grimalkin, I will listen to you all day and all night.
Dude, the first time Grimalkin was written, testicles was half of the page.
No.
The letters were so big. It was just testicles across the half the page. And people in the chat were so psyched about the fact that I was going to be reading Grimalkin. They were like, here it comes. Here it comes. She's going to say it. And it was testicles. And it was, everyone lost it. Pirate said, fun fact, I had a high school gymnasium teacher.
No.
That was like Grimalkin.
No. Life imitates art, imitates life.
That's great. Well, we have gone almost to 2 hours. You guys are amazing. Oh, no, it's an hour and a half. Sorry. We were close. Hour and 15 minutes. We've been here for almost 2 hours and I can't math. So anyway, I think we are, it's time we're all going to turn into pumpkins. Time has flown. Erin, you want to read us out with Pirate because you read so well on the pacing of this. Thank you.
Well, Pirate thinks we can do one last big question. Question mark?
Very nice.
Sure. From DM Beck, if you could choose any class to have in our world, what would you choose? And if you were in the in-world, would that change? And if so, which would it be?
I'd want Eternal Storyteller, and I would be the same. And I would have something like Iron Voice, where my voice would never get tired, and I could keep telling stories for all hours, and I would never get vocal fatigue. I've already thought about this. It's an established answer for me. I knew this. Like, man, if I had TWY powers, man.
And I'm gonna make up my own class. So in my real world, I'm a chief of staff to a politician. So I work in politics, and I'm behind the scenes. So my class is going to be hand of office. It's like a cross between like administrator and tactician.
Ooh, I like that. That's really cool.
And I don't know if this class has been explored. Class has been explored in the in-world yet. But it's going to be something about taking what exists in the past and uniting it with the future in the present. Something about managing worlds that have come before and worlds that need to come into existence, and somehow remaining in the middle, spinning some plates. So
I like that.
definitely with reverence for the lore that has come before, and excitement and to enter the unknown. Whatever that class is, Pirate, I'm sure we'll write it. And it says, in our world, writer, because it makes sense. In world, not writer, because like fuck, I'm going to do any writing with a quill. Magic scribe or something techie. Mage is a great class because it combos out so much. But I'd settle for survivor.
Ooh, that'd be a good one.
Oh,
That'd be really, really useful. Leave it to Pirate to think tactically. Like, I could definitely parlay this class into like 6 other classes. It's awesome. In-world is super harsh.
And leave it to a writer to say it so poetically.
Exactly.
To survive is an awfully great adventure.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Oh,
Thank you guys so much for doing this with us today. Like, this was
thank
great.
Thank you.
Yeah,
And
thanks
thank
so
you,
much for inviting me,
Pirate.
guys. I'm very honored to be a part of this. I feel like the one person that doesn't deserve to be here, so I super appreciate it. And it's very fun. So
No, it's such a pleasure to meet you and to get to talk about all this and to, be on with Andrea Parsna and Pirate Abbott. And
So cool.
yeah, so excited about everything that is to come. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. And thank you so much, everyone at home, for being here. Thank you for coming and joining us for our live stream. And Pirate says, yes, thank you for the discussions. No, Matt, you were great. And everyone here was awesome. But I do need to ask where we can find all 3 of you. Discord channels? Mine's easy, discord.gg/Andrea Parsnow. And that has everything.
I'm on Instagram at Aaron Bennett Narrates.
awesome. I'm on
2 N's, 2
YouTube.
T's, right?
2 N's, 2 T's. You got it.
And however you found out about this live stream, I will probably promote to those channels. So I'll come to you.
Well done. Matt's like, don't worry about it. I got this. But thank you guys so much. This has been awesome. And I don't have a plan for how we're supposed to close this out. So should we just sit here and wave awkwardly for a few seconds?
We'll just
Pirate
say
says, thank you again.
Yeah, until we meet again.
Exactly. Aloha.
Oh.
Yes. Pirate says, thank you again. I think we just say goodbye, and I hope you like the gift, Andrea. I do. It is my proudest possession now.
That's the perfect image. We love you, Andrea.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Me, Andy. Thank you guys so much. Bye, everybody. Ooh, yes. And Pirate says, and I'm looking forward to hearing Aaron narrating the new audiobook. I have credit to spend. Yes, that is the important thing. Go out and buy the new book, guys. Go buy King of Duels because it's going to be incredible. Aaron's amazing.
It's out.
Yay! It's the best.
And we're going into production on the next one.
Woohoo!
Woohoo!
Thanks again, guys. Bye. Whew, that was a big stream and a great first live stream. So, anyways, 10.47E. Aaron was waking up over breakfast and munching on a roach's leg, which wasn't as appealing as you might think. And that wasn't a high bar. Wait, are you still here? I'd better do this off stream. See ya!